What is your biggest takeaway from last night's episode of Hard Knocks?
I'm going to go small picture before I go big picture. Okay. I'm going to focus on what we just saw because it caught my eye. This was Jon Gruden trying to pull AB aside as they left that practice, the walk-through practice field, trying to play big brother, sort of father figure and say, hey, quit listening to your agent, quit listening to family and friends, just listen to me, because all that matters right now is what I say, because I want you to put me first, as in football first, and simplify the global corporation that you have become, because right now it's about football.
Yes.
And for the most part last night during Hard Knocks, which is obviously taped before yesterday,
correct,
we saw more good cop from Jon when it came to AB. He was trying to soft sell all of it. It's not a big deal. What's the big deal? It's not a big story. We knew about the cryotherapy going way back to the mini camps and blah, blah, blah. Like he said, we got this all under control. And then it ended with that exchange, which told me he's pretty troubled by this, but he's clinging to Antonio. He needs Antonio desperately, and he loves one thing about Antonio. He says 84 will lead this league in energy. I'll buy that. Because when AB commits to being out there with the proper helmet on, and by the way, it was also significant, Antonio indicated on the field before the Arizona game, it's not about how the new helmet feels. It's the way it looks. It looks. Because it's an ugly blah, 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 you know.
I guess he thinks it makes him look like Marvin the Martian.
That was
Marvin had that
big old... Yeah, no, that's a good one. I'm sure that's about how he pictures it in his head.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not about the actual feel of it or it's too bulky or whatever. It's just the look. Well, Gruden will not love that. So, big picture. Predictably, this Hard Knocks has turned into the JGAB show. Jon Gruden, then AB in that order. Jon Gruden is proving to me to have an even bigger ego than his new superstar has. Jon Gruden, to me...
But you knew that.
I didn't know it'd be quite this big. I think TV helped make it bigger, the Monday night stage, obviously. Because remember, I covered Jon's last team in Oakland the first time around. I covered the 2001 Oakland Raiders. So I saw him in action. I saw him clash repeatedly post-practice with Al Davis, who was his mentor and the great Al Davis. Again, I was close with Al. But he went at Al hard after practice over this issue and that issue and how he was coaching the team or not coaching the team. But the point is that this guy's ego is running amok, because in all my years of watching all the Hard Knocks dating back to your first one, what year was that?
2001.
2001. I have never seen a player or a coach, including Shannon Sharpe, play to the camera the way Gruden is playing to the camera.
Oh, for sure.
It's almost becoming caricature. And it was amusing to me that he brought in Frank Caliendo, who I know from having him on shows before, and he does a great Gruden, and so he let him do a Gruden, but it was almost painfully funny to watch, because Frank's having a hard time outdoing the real Gruden.
Exactly.
You can't go too over the top, because Gruden has gone completely over the top.
You're right.
And I don't know why. He's gained a lot of weight, which may mean he's under a lot of pressure to try to live up to $10 million a year for 10 years.
I was wondering about that.
He's gained way more.
That too.
Because he didn't carry that much weight the first time around as a coach. He wasn't like that. So whatever. But the point is that in the biggest picture, he wants to be the star of the Oakland Raiders. He doesn't want 84 to be the star. 84 should listen to what Jon says. And to me, that's collision course for an epic clash. That is the essence of why I don't think this will work long term, because I'm not sure. You know, I've been a Gruden fan before because I like him personally. But will this work in this day and age when players become so big via social media? Their brands have grown to regions that we've never seen before. And the coaches' brands don't grow in this day and age, right?
No. Look, as great as Bill Belichick is not known in Europe and overseas in Asia and all that stuff. Like Odell, like these players are. Yes, exactly.
And most players don't try to dominate social media. Do any? I know Wade Phillips is on it. Who else? Anybody else do it? There's nobody who's on. No coach is on social media. But Jon Gruden is dominating Hard Knocks because That's who he has become. So can AB fit his ego underneath the Gruden umbrella ego? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you, Skip. I think this is a collision course. I think they're bound to collide, intersect at some point, and it's not going to be pretty. You know, Gruden should have said team football first, because AB could say, I am putting football first. It's just AB's football that I'm putting first.
That's true.
Skip, this is how AB gets them. You heard it, Skip? You're like, Coach, I appreciate you standing by me, Coach, because everybody coming for me. Ain't nobody coming for you. You acting like a fool. First of all, you went to the crowd chamber.
Said he was enemy of the state? I feel like enemy of, no. Nobody's, no.
Well, first of all, if you've never been in a crowd chamber, you probably should know what you're getting yourself into. You don't go in there barefooted. You put on socks, you put on the Ugg boots.
Was it his first time? Like, how do you make that
I don't know, but you don't get blitzed. That's the only way. And then Skip, the helmet. Now, I was told that it was always about aesthetics. It was never about the comfort of the feel of the helmet. I was also told that one of the company heads offered to come to Oakland as prearranged through the NFL and do a 3D scan for AB and get his proper measurements fit. They're not going to send him to Dick's and go get a helmet off the rack. They're going to say, we're going to give you the best of the best. He's like, nah, I don't want that. Because my helmet looks better, and I look better. And if I look good, I play good. That's why you always see him with his shoulder pads up so you can see the back booming.
That is true. You can see booming.
So this is what this is about.
Is what catchphrase is. Yeah.
Look, and so I think Gruden, first of all, I think this was heavily edited. Because, you know, the
language wasn't, but...
No, the team gets, because they couldn't edit Mike's Mayock because he said that publicly and it was already out there. So they had to put that in there, Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, you know Jon Gruden. I know Jon Gruden. My brother played for Jon Gruden.
He did.
Jon Gruden is seething because he said, man, we gave you all this money and you up here shucking and jiving about a helmet when you already knew you had a year to prepare for this. Coaches get very upset, especially if you do something, because I think he said this was his first time doing cryo and he was overseas. Coaches get upset like, well, why are you doing this now? If you've never done this before and you've had success, so why are you doing it now? And then you put yourself at risk. You put this team at risk. Skip, this is gonna be bad. The same thing's gonna happen, because guess what? And people are like, well, because after 2 years they can get out of this for $335,000 after the 2020 season. Odell, the Giant, took a $16 million dead cap hit. The Steelers took a $21 million dead cap hit.
They did.
What that tells me, no matter how great you are, if you give them enough headache, they will move on from your butt. So I think AB will be $15 million. It's hard for me to believe that they wouldn't move on from $15 million if the Steelers were willing to move on from 21 and the Giants were willing to move on from 16. They're going to look to AB going to butt heads. Because it's always going to be something with him, Skip. He's going to find something else. No one came from – people were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But then this guy came out and you get an opportunity. I can tell you firsthand, all that was just for show. Jon Gruden is mad as hell at this, as what's transpired with AB.
Yeah.
Now, he can say this.
So when you say heavily edited, you mean a lot's been cut out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the team gets – they show it to the team.
Do. No,
and this cut this out. You can. Oh yeah.
So if he had some off-camera, so to speak, rant, no, we don't want that in.
Yeah, exactly. Because I gotta make AB think that I'm in his corner.
Yeah.
And always positive. But Skip, at some point in time, guess what? These games gonna matter. They go in the win-loss column, and it goes toward whether or not you're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna see.
Can't edit losses, right?
Nah, you can't edit those.
So when last night's episode ended, my wife Ernestine turned to me and said, has Gruden always been that snotty? I like that word snotty, because he does come across as just flat out snotty.
Yeah, he has.
And I said, that's a good question, because when I covered him, now it was a long time, 2001, what was that, 18 years ago, I don't remember him being that snotty, as in dismissive, sarcastic, hypercritical.
But what happened? What happened in 2002 that changed his life forever?
He won one. Now, he did win one with Tony Dungy's guys.
Yeah.
Right? But he won it.
He won it.
Yeah.
We can't take that away
And
from
he did get to take advantage of his former team in the Super Bowl,
Yes.
and they were calling out plays before they were run,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, and Rich Gannon, his former quarterback, threw a whole bunch of balls to the Bucs, right?
He did.
And they got returned for touchdowns.
Yes.
And it was a complete and utter wipeout.
It was a demolition.
Yes, it was.
But Skip, he's animated, but after winning the Super Bowl, he became even more animated.
Yeah.
He had a little jerk in him before.
He did.
But he became an even bigger one. That's why he felt he could talk to Keyshawn the way he did once he won that Super Bowl. And I'm not going to, hey, I wish him all the best. But I can tell he and AB, they're going to butt heads at some point in time this year. A collision course. Hey, this is two meteors headed in the same direction.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.